Hello everybody, this is Nick speaking. Welcome back to another episode of Dino's World. Today is episode number 14, and today I'm over here in the Nether because, yeah, portal, which is over here, but, I'm kind of thinking that it might be about time for us to create a sort of hub here in the Nether so that way we can travel back and forth between the mob farm and the starter cave here pretty quickly. So yeah, this thing's leaving. And gone. Okay, so the idea is I want to come up here, and I've started digging this area out a little bit already, but basically we're going to come up here and we're going to make another hub, and it's going to be awesome. So yeah, here we are. This is going to be the Nether hub, and yes, I'm aware this thing exists here. It's a hole, because I'm kind of going to make this a tall room, but yeah, over this way, this is where the sort of mob farm is, so I want to kind of get this portal in and get that going and see about getting all of this stuff ready to go here so we can get this area started to decorate and try and make something cool here. So I think this one will link up correctly. Let me try it just to make sure. Okay, yes, we do end up here up at the mob farm, which is awesome, and where you want to be. And yeah, I noticed there's some carts missing. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, I don't know what happened to those other minecarts. It's very bizarre. So this does link up right though, so we can head on back, and it should link to our new portal. Yes, it does. And the Nether always lags like crazy right when I first go into it. And then the starter cave, if I remember right, the actual area for that portal is like over here somewhere. I wrote this down. Let me look to see where it actually is. And because this one I didn't really do such a good job of actually writing it down. And here I am looking at this. So yeah, the starter cave is actually kind of right here in the center, so I don't think I wanted to actually position a nether hub around the middle here, but I guess that's what's happening, and I guess we'll put a portal right here to kind of signify, hey, this is the starter cave portal, especially since that seems to be the big area of interest we're going to need over here, so makes sense to just put it right here, make it easy for us to access, but then we can still take care of it from here. So yeah, I'm doing a little bit bigger a portal here because it's the kind of the dimensions of the room, and it works pretty well for that. So there's that portal lit, and let's make sure this one lines up as well. Might be a little bit out of place, but it should portal us into the starter cave, and it does. Let's see, yes, we do have a little bit more chicken here, so I'm going to grab that while we're here. And yeah, basically this gives us the ability to get this going and get a room here decorated. So the first thing I'm thinking is, well, we're obviously going to need a good floor for this area, so I'm thinking we're probably going to need a half slab of this entire thing, and my first instinct is to maybe try going with some sandstone slabs, kind of try to bring the area of the landscape into this, from the overworld into this area. So I'm thinking lots of sandstone, and I think that's going to kind of be our main material in here. So let's hop back over into the starter cave yet again and decide what we want to do for materials here, because I think we'll want to do something kind of interesting here. Maybe blend like some sand and sandstone in as kind of our bottom area. So our desert materials here takes a little bit of sand. We'll take some sandstone. The smooth stuff we don't have so much of, so I'm going to leave that for now. But I think those are the textures that make the most sense for the floor in that area. So that's kind of what I want to go with, and, well, it's kind of easy to harvest because, well, guess what? It's right outside our door, and, I mean, I don't try to harvest right here next to the starter cave, but I'm trying to get some of that kind of stuff harvested, and, well, it's kind of in a pretty convenient spot there, so it works. And let's pop back over to the Nether and realize that we have no crafting bench on us, so we need to go back to the overworld again to grab a crafting bench, and then come back to the Nether. So you know what? I think I'm gonna get the floor laid here, and I'll be back. Not in here, though, because the floor is in the Nether. Alright, so guys, I'm back, and I'm here in the creative testing world, and I think I kind of decided on the design I want to go for here for the Nether hub. Do some kind of lava stuff here. I think that was kind of a cool idea. So, yeah, I kind of do like it, you know, the bone blocks, which are pretty easy for us to get, and then the sandstone, which do a little bit of designing in here with, but I think it actually looks pretty cool, and having like these indents and areas coming outward at us, I think definitely helps tie this together. And a portal, one on each corner. These will probably all sync up to the same spot, but I think it still looks cool having this, and these were some other designs I was playing with, but I didn't like them as much. But I kind of did take details from each one of them to use in the final design over here, and I also had to figure out how to do this corner over here. So yeah, it kind of more just has sort of a rounded corner here than a entire circular room, because I actually found this was a little bit easier to work with. So basically gonna have a square room then, and you know, we might need to do something for the middle here too. So there's always that thing, and then who knows if we extend this design upwards, do what with it, we have no idea at this point. This is basically where we're at so far, so I'm gonna, you know, go collect some sandstone on the server, go collect some glass, and get ready for the next phase of the build. So I'll see you back in just a little bit. Alright, so I am back, and I have most of the supplies here, and maybe not everything, but we do have enough to be able to get started here. So basically, the design, we have this area, which is going to be lava-filled, and basically that means we do need to take out this area back here. We do need a trench up here at the top, and don't necessarily need one at the bottom, but since we can do it, we might as well. So that is the area where our lava flows, and then basically just can take the middle block out here. Let's put a middle block there, and then have our smooth sandstone, which kind of get to use as our center blocks here. They're kind of like our detail blocks, so get those three in the corner, we get that one there. This guy can actually just be a regular, like, netherrack, because he's never going to be seen. And then we get to take out some blocks here and here. those are going to be a few stairs, and I'm going to make a whole bunch of stairs right now, just because this design does include quite a bit of the stairs. So to have 2 stairs here on the corners, and then we have also 2 stairs up on the top here on the corners, like so. So that gets us kind of this outline here. Over here, we take out this row completely. Actually, we don't take out that row completely. We have a stair here. That goes there. That goes there. This becomes a regular sandstone. That's a stair there. And do a stair out like that. So that kind of gives us our design here that goes up the sides. And then here is the other interesting one. We get kind of a sort of recessed stair at the top there, and then we do the same down here at the bottom, and that we bring out this one in the middle here, because it kind of just makes everything fit a little bit better, and just kind of bring that out as well. So these 2 need to be regular stairs. So let's make some more stairs, because this design is very stair heavy. So we take that like that. That gets that part done, and then these pillars are bone blocks. So basically, take out these entire pillar, and we will make some bone blocks here. We got our bone meal. And if you don't know bone block, it's 9 bone meal. Gonna need quite a bit of you too. And actually, you know what? Let's just convert that entire thing into bone meal. And then we'll just kind of make a whole bunch of bone blocks here. There we go. That should be plenty to at least show off this. And then kind of do 2 top, 2 bottom. Put one like that in the middle, going the opposite direction. And then do basically the same over here on the other side. And that kind of frames us up. Then we need to put like a lava source here in the middle. It flows down. Put glass in front of it, item frame and torch both on the front of this block, and put a trapdoor in the middle. So that's basically the design here. I'm going to do it in all the other locations. We got 7 more of them, and then I will come back and show you what this room looks like, minus the lava danger stuff. So I'll be back in just a second. Alright, so update. We have all of the lava and walls completed. We just, you know, the detail work, the glass, the item frames. Need a way to designate these portals too, which I actually haven't figured out yet, but I kind of have an idea of what I want to do with it, so I'm kind of thinking this hub is gonna go upward. Maybe we'll have like a little balcony or something around the top here with like some staircases behind the portals or something. That would be an interesting feature to have, and then get like a little bit of a balcony with these guys kind of holding it up a little bit, and maybe comes out to like this block here, and that's going to be where it's located. And I think just being able to extend this upward is going to be a really cool sort of feature, and then we get to do a whole bunch of interesting stuff here with it. So yeah, there's still a lot of work left here to do. And I think next I'm going to go smelt them some glass, get the item frames ready to go, and the stuff that's going to go into them. So I'm going to take another adventure off, go do that, and I'll be back. Alright, and we are back, and as you can tell, I have some of the supplies in my hand, and there's the other ones, so yes. Take the glass, and we more or less frame up each one of these. Item frame here. If you click on the block itself, it allows you to place a torch. And then all I'm doing is putting a trapdoor there. And it kind of makes it look like the torch is being held in place and gives a little cool detail here. So basically what I'm going to do for each one of these in front of the little area here where we have the whole everything going on here. And actually you can do this with any number of items as long as you can touch the block behind it, you can add another item onto that same spot. So yeah, it's a cool little trick that works for building, and I kind of like the little detail that brings it and makes it look like it's like a torch holder or something. And I'm using the redstone torches here because I think they look kind of like a cool little thing to add in, so that was kind of the thought there. So yep, that's basically the bottom part done, and we'll just, take care of the rest of these really quickly because we can, and torch, and you... No. Go away. You need me in my inventory. You go there, you go there, you go there, and you go there, and boom, boom, and boom. Okay, now I do need to get a little bit more bone meal because, well, unfortunately, the bone meal situation isn't really... We didn't have quite enough to be able to make all the radii we needed to make all the window panes, so... Still need to get a little bit more of that, but... Yeah, it shouldn't be too much problem. I think it's only one bone meal we need, so... If we wait here for 3 seconds, we should get one bone from this thing, assuming that it is running, which... I have no reason to believe it wouldn't be running. So... Dudes, spawn. Or is this thing just kinda... And yeah, I kinda noticed that some of the hopper minecarts are missing. And I don't know what happened to them. Because it's not like they flew off the edge over here, and it's not like they flew off the edge over on the other end either. So yeah, it's just kind of a mystery as to what actually happened to them. So, yeah. Alright, so I will be getting another bone here. Just wait for a little bit to get that, and I will be back in just a little bit. Bye. Not bye. The episode's not over yet. Alright, so we are back, and we're actually in the creative world again, and, well, I've been kind of working out the rest of the design because, as you guys know, we only kind of had the bottom layer here, and, well, need to, incorporate a little bit of... At least I incorporated a little bit of light into here, but if we look up, you can see, yeah, this nether hub is going to actually expand upwards a little bit, and I really do like this design quite a bit. So, yeah, I ended up deciding I want to kind of give, a second floor here, and the idea is these, tunnels here are going to be, quick travels to all the main features of the actual area, and then the tunnels down below are going to be I think I'm going to make these ice roads or something, and give them priority tunnels. And so these will go to one specific spot, and these will just kind of go straight out in to different areas. And ooh, those spoilers. Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on here. So, yeah, I thought, let's give it a second floor, give us a little bit of decoration. Kind of try to make it look like there's a shaped roof up above with some support beams and that kind of stuff, and even some interesting lava sources that, kind of make everything tie together and finish off this build pretty well, I would say. So, yeah, I think this is what I want to do, of course. since we have nothing really up above the layer here where the top of the obsidian is, there's going to be a lot of digging to do, a lot of resources to collect, including a whole bunch of stuff to make some purple hardened clay, which surprisingly, I mean, it kind of matches with the portal here, but not really. Kind of wanted something a little bit closer to it, like maybe even the purple wool's kind of. It doesn't really match too great, but I mean, there's not really a good block that matches the end portal color that well, so it's kind of hard to get it. Maybe the blue clay. Actually, we might go with blue clay, so we'll need a whole bunch of lapis rather than what this stuff we got here. And let's see, if I were to just say replace this little section here and see what that maybe looks like. Actually, I think I do like the blue more than the magenta, so I'm gonna go with blue for all of this, and then because blue is the actual purple clay, which because nothing can be the correct color in this game. Yeah, I think I do like that a lot more than I like the magenta, even though the magenta is kind of cool too, but I was trying to think more of a purple because the portals are purple, and then we get orange and then the yellow, which I think makes us have like a good contrast here in color and makes everything work out pretty well together. So with that being said, I think we're actually out of time for this episode because, well, we're already kind of around 20 minutes. 2, I know it's going to take me a while to gather all these resources. And 3, since I've been sick the past few weeks, there's not been any episodes of Dino's World. I think it's probably a good idea for me to finally get an episode up here so that way there's, actual content as far as Dino's World, because it's not dead, but can't really show that something's not dead unless you're, recording something for it. So, yeah, I think it's actually gonna be a good spot to stop everything. And, oh yeah, stairs behind every portal. Oh, you learn something new every day. You can apparently punch a portal gone. Did not know that. So, anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.